a shove, a middle finger, a deliberate swerve on the cool-down lap. Las Vegas Motor Speedway just witnessed the most explosive pit road confrontation of the 2026 NASCAR season, and it involved two men who spent 4 years calling each other teammates. And now, Denny Hamlin, the man who actually won the race that day, is on his podcast calling out one of them for staying silent. This story goes way deeper than one corner in Las Vegas. Stay right here. Denny Hamlin dominated the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Sunday, March 15, 2026, leading a race-high 134 of 267 laps to take the checkered flag for Joe Gibbs Racing. By every measure, it was his day, his race, his victory. But nobody is talking about that. Because while Hamlin was doing burnouts in Sin City, Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez, two former Trackhouse Racing teammates, were going to war on pit road in front of the entire NASCAR world. And when Chastain refused to talk about it afterward, Hamlin got on his Actions Detrimental podcast and said exactly what everyone was thinking. Today, we break down every single layer of this beef, the shove, the silence, the call-out, and the years of history behind it all. Because trust us, this is not just about one cool-down lap in Las Vegas. Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez were teammates at Trackhouse Racing from 2022 through 2025, 4 full seasons side by side. They were publicly branded Amigo 1 and Amigo 2. They made content together, praised each other in interviews, and presented a united front to the outside world. But something was always simmering beneath the surface, and on March 15, 2026, it finally exploded. In the closing laps of the Pennzoil 400, both drivers were buried deep in the field, battling for 17th place. Chastain in the number 1 Chevrolet drew alongside Suarez in the number 7 and edged past on the outside. But as he cleared Suarez, Chastain extended his arm out the window and flipped his former teammate the middle finger. That single gesture told the whole story of where this relationship actually stood. It didn't stop there. On the cool-down lap, Chastain deliberately swerved his car directly into Suarez's number 7. Not a tap, not a racing incident, a deliberate, intentional move. The two cars rolled side by side back toward pit road before Suarez pushed ahead. When both machines finally came to a stop, the drivers climbed out and squared up right beside the number 1 car. Words flew first, then hands followed. Chastain shoved Suarez, and crew members along with a race official had to physically rush in to separate them. The confrontation lasted several heated moments before Chastain finally walked away. When the media descended for answers, Suarez didn't hesitate for a single second. He was emotional, fired up, and completely unfiltered. Chastain, on the other hand, looked at the waiting reporters and said flatly, "Not today, boys," and walked away without another word. That silence didn't just frustrate reporters. It frustrated Denny Hamlin. On his widely followed Actions Detrimental podcast, Hamlin addressed the situation directly and didn't hold back one bit. Sitting in this room, there's 3 media members here. We would love to have a quote that we could run with, Hamlin said. But it just feels like Ross is, when there's something that happened, he's just not going to give it to you. When there's something that happened for the sport, storylines, it would be fantastic if he would just give us something to work with. But he's not going to let us in. Then Hamlin turned the mirror on himself and made absolutely no apologies for who he is. "Well, I'm different," Hamlin said. "I'm going to talk anytime I can. If I have an opportunity or if I have a beef with a driver, I'm going to dig the knife when I can. But that's just my personality, and I do it with my closest friends." Hamlin didn't stop at calling out Chastain's silence. He went one step further on the podcast and speculated on who would actually win in a physical fight between the two drivers. And he picked Suarez without hesitation. "I like Ross' chances of connection because he seems like he's very good at that," Hamlin said. "But I think just eventually strength comes in. Yeah, Suarez might catch one in the chin, but if it doesn't hobble him, I think he gets pummeled because of the size difference. Listen, there's not a giant size difference, but I think there's more likely a strength difference." Meanwhile, Suarez had already gone on record with some of the most loaded words of the entire 2026 season. He called Chastain two-faced, not difficult, not hard to race with. Two-faced. That is a significant accusation between two men who shared a garage, a team, and a brand identity for 4 straight years. I was having a conversation, and he was always spun out. He just said something. I mean, for some reason, our relationship has always been very weird, almost like a little bit two-faced on his part for some reason, Suarez said. And today I saw actually what I thought he had in his mind for a while. But I mean, I don't have any hard feelings for anyone. I'm just doing my thing, having a great time. But it's just sad that he thinks that way. Suarez also revealed a detail that added serious fuel to the fire. During the pit road confrontation, it appeared that Chastain told Suarez he was fired, a direct reference to Trackhouse Racing's decision to drop Suarez at the end of the 2025 season in favor of rookie Connor Zilisch. Suarez addressed his composure in handling that moment with remarkable clarity. I was actually very proud of myself in the way I handled the situation because the Daniel from 3 years ago probably would have kicked his, but Suarez said on SiriusXM NASCAR radio. But I have come to understand, and I'll give you a few reasons. Reason number 1, to punch him and put him on the ground, it was going to cost me $50,000. Reason number 2 is sponsors never like that. And reason number 3, I mean, if I want to fight Ross, and he knows this, it's not going to last 5 seconds. Days after the race, Chastain finally broke his silence, and what he revealed got to the true root of everything. He admitted he reviewed all the video footage before speaking, and walked away with the same feeling he had carried for a long time. Yeah, in the moment, I definitely was hot and angry and would do things different if I had time to think about it, Chastain said. I would not have swerved into him after the race, and if I could go back, I wouldn't have shoved, sure. But Chastain made clear this was never just about Las Vegas. The real issue, in his view, was accountability or the lack of it. I was just over the conversation that he was trying to have, wanted him to leave, asked him to leave, and wanted him to back up. He was too close and just didn't want to hear anything else he was saying because he wasn't taking any accountability, and I wanted him to. He went even further, connecting this moment to a pattern he had observed throughout their entire time as teammates at Trackhouse Racing. That goes back longer than this weekend, Chastain said. We got through the end of our time together when we were teammates, and I don't think it's bad that I don't get along with everybody. I don't agree with the way he handles things, and what stood out to me on pit road is there is never any accountability. There was 0% on his side, and not just this past weekend, but it's just a bigger thing, and it all boiled up quickly for me. Chastain also revealed he wrote Suarez a long text message after the race, choosing his words carefully, and that the two had played phone tag in the days since. He acknowledged they simply don't get along, and stated plainly that not everyone has to. This history between the two drivers runs deeper than most people realize. Back in 2023 at Circuit of the Americas, Chastain tangled with Alex Bowman, which sent Bowman directly into Suarez, and in what looked like a potential top 5 finish, and dropping Suarez all the way to 27th place. Suarez was so angry that he asked his crew over the radio where the Bowman and Chastain cars were, and physically sped past multiple cars on the cool-down lap, hunting for them. Then at Sonoma Raceway in July 2025, Chastain drove deep into the final corner on lap 45 of the Toyota/Save Mart 350 and made contact with Suarez, spinning him in the hairpin and dropping him from 14th to 29th in the running order. Chastain later sent word through his spotter that he misjudged the entry, but the damage to the relationship was already done. And when Trackhouse Racing ended Suarez's tenure at the close of 2025, choosing to bring in Connor Zilisch to replace him, it set the stage for everything that followed in 2026. Suarez landed at Spire Motorsports, driving the number 7 Chevrolet. And through the first 5 races of the season, he found himself in on-track incidents with every single Trackhouse Racing driver. Van Gisbergen at the Cookout Clash, Zilisch at Coda, and now Chastain in Las Vegas. Denny Hamlin himself acknowledged on his podcast that this beef feels like something that has been building for a long time. I think it's been brewing, Hamlin said. I always thought from the exterior that their relationship was good. You know, they do a lot of content stuff together, but you just never know. You never know. The championship standings after Las Vegas make this rivalry even more consequential. Chastain sits 20th in the standings, 23 points below the chase cut line. Suarez holds 17th place with 117 points, sitting right on the edge of the cutoff. With 21 races remaining before the chase, every single point on every single Sunday matters. These two drivers are not just personal rivals. They're direct competitors for a chase spot. They will share the same track in the same battles for position that actually determines their season. Hamlin, meanwhile, leads the championship conversation from the front. The race winner, the entertainer, and now the unofficial narrator of the most compelling feud in NASCAR's 2026 season. I've known Daniel now for a long time and have lived it inside of our four walls at Trackhouse, that there's, in my opinion, not enough accountability, and there wasn't post-race, Chastain said, making clear that what happened in Las Vegas was never really about Las Vegas at all. This feud is not over. It is barely getting started. Who do you side with? Drop it in the comments below. If you're new here, hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.